Oh, yeah.
Get your recording voice on.
Yeah, sip of coffee.
Yes, I can definitely go for a sip of coffee.
Yeah, I need 1 cup of coffee or something while we chat along.
Welcome. Welcome.
Big podcast,
Welcome.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Let's Talk About That podcast. I'm your co-host Tony.
And I'm Martin, and now I'm pretty sure. Last time I wasn't too sure who I was, but now I am.
That's good, you know.
Yeah. So when this one is this episode is released, at least on YouTube. I don't know how fast you will be able to release it on the podcast level. It will be the 18th of December. And that's pretty close to Christmas. So we thought we'll play around with the traditions of Christmas and New Year's and compare the Norwegian traditions to the American ones.
Yeah.
So
I guess. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Well, I know one sort of starting point is so I sent you a picture the other night of us putting up our tree.
Yeah,
I
did.
And and you sent me back a message saying, "Oh, you're decorating early."
Yeah,
And,
like 3 weeks early, I thought. And then you told me that it's more normal to put it on to decorate the tree right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
that's in the middle of November, right? Ish.
It's
November.
right at the end of November. It's like the last Thursday of November, basically.
Yeah. And
so
here
it's one of those ones that.
Yeah, one of those.
Sorry. One of those ones that doesn't have a set date, but it's like always I think the 4th Thursday of November.
Yeah, same as the Palm Friday or whatever it's called. It's the second Friday after this and before that, and kiss my ass and dance around it, whatever. Again, the decorating tree, and here it's more. It's a, I don't know, people maybe not doing that too much anymore because everyone is working and all the time. It's no one has enough time these days, but the tradition is the day before Christmas. So 23rd December, you decorate the tree here. So, but you might put it in earlier though, because it's normally you have a real tree. How common is using a fake tree, plastic one in your area?
I mean, I'd say it's increasingly common. I mean, some people still do the real ones. But yeah, I guess I don't necessarily have a good handle on sort of what the percentages are there. But I mean, it's really not uncommon at all to have a plastic tree.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more normal to have a plastic one here. We had the first plastic one last year. Actually, it was a joy to putting it away without having to deal with all the needles laying around in the living room.
Yeah,
I was taking down some power outlets here the other day, and I found some needles inside from around where the tree stood. I don't know how they ended up in there, but yeah.
Well, excuse me. It's all good. It's probably got to be even a little more of a pain in the butt. You know, I mean, it makes sense not to put the tree in so early, especially if you have a real one, because then you have to like keep the thing alive for the next month.
Yeah, sure. But then again, if you put it in when it's like 5 or 10 minus centigrade outside, you put it in, it will die really fast. You have to declimatize it, or how it's
really.
Yeah, So we usually put it in the garage or in the storage room, so we could get into a bit higher temperature, and then we put it into to our hall, a bit chiller, and then we put it into the living room. All this within a week and a half.
Huh.
And I remember, I don't remember, but my parents have told me they once bought a tree of an older guy come along with the trees, and he had been storing them in a colder river, actually. So
Huh.
yeah, he didn't lose any needles at all. It was the best trees ever. Never seen that guy again.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know you were so knowledgeable about trees.
I'm a Norwegian. No. Before we had the first Christmas here, the Christmas before that, we did actually chop our own tree. Went into the woods and took home a tree. It was first time I did that, actually. Is that something you do in Minnesota?
Oh yeah, I mean less so. I don't know. My family always they actually have like Christmas tree farms.
Yeah,
Here.
that's common around here too.
Yeah, so my parents used to do that growing up. You know, we'd every year we'd hop in the car and go to a nursery, and yeah, we go out and cut down our own tree and bundle it all, and it was kind of it was fun, but you know, I was too young. I wasn't the one that was cutting the tree, so
Yeah, sure. It's more of a tradition, like Mom, Dad, when are we going to chop the tree? The kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
At least when you're a rather small child.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's move a little bit forward. According to Christmas, we put on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also decorate around the house, or is it just the tree around Thanksgiving?
Usually that's when all the decorations really come out, and the whole house. I mean, on average, I guess the house is sort of in Christmas mode between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
So now we have all the the lights outside. Do people you get the like people decorate their houses with lights too and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I sent you some pictures. I was walking around in my town late here the other night. I think it was on Monday, and you probably saw some of the lights.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true.
My throat. But yeah, there's someone doing it American style with a lot of colors and blinking and all that. But the more common one is like the yellow or white lights to illuminate everything, because it's rather dark here around these days. And
yeah, I suppose.
And with the snow and the lights, it becomes really pretty, I must say.
Yeah, that's the nice part of winter when it's you at least have the sort of cheerful lights out there.
Yeah, especially when I mean, we were about to lose all the snow now, because it's plus 2 degrees centigrade or something. So it's melting away really fast, and it's forecasted 5 and sun the coming week. So
Oh wow.
I'm guessing there will be another gray Christmas, not a white one. And then again, there's positive about the lights hanging around. It makes it more cozy, I think.
Yeah, there's something that I love the sort of soft illumination of some nice Christmas lights. And
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have a fireplace?
Yeah, we have a fireplace. It's not the most pretty one, and but it's warming a lot. Yeah, it's a traditional one. It's not a big one where you can see all the woods and stuff. It's more like what is called
like a stove kind of thing?
Yeah, more like a stove. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you have something like that?
We have a gas fireplace here,
Yeah,
which
of
is
course,
really,
of course you have. What? Of course you have. It's yeah,
Yeah, we do all the gas.
yeah. There's no wood at all.
Yeah, no, but my parents' house is older, and they do have a fireplace. Well, they
Okay,
have a
yeah.
fireplace on each floor. Not that.
Yeah. I mean, my house is rather old. It's from 1913 or probably older. And when I look at the chimney, I see that they had the holes in each floor has been filled. So once there was a fireplace in each floor earlier. But, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. So how does like the because I know there's different traditions. Now, my mom's on my case because she listens to this podcast,
Yeah, of course.
and she says you're always talking about your Finnish heritage, but not your Swedish heritage. So I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah, go
The
ahead. I'm more familiar with the Swedish. I'm yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the Finns are weird, so
Yeah.
I think we can all admit that. But no, like the whole like Santa Lucia and that sort of thing. Is that something that there's anything like that there? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Especially in kindergarten and younger school years, they're dressing up and walking like a parade with white dresses almost, and having candles and singing the Lucia song. There are also some, I guess you would call them Lucia buns, like those with the raisins in, you know?
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Singing some songs and walking around. It's, yeah, I don't know much about the history of Saint Lucia, but it's definitely a tradition here. Yeah. It's nothing like that in the US.
Oh no. I mean, yeah. My family did it a little bit. I mean, there's some, especially in Minnesota, because again, we have that strong Scandinavian connection here. Um, but I bet you if you went down to, I don't know, Oklahoma and started talking about Santa Lucia, they'd have no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you're very Scandinavian over in Minnesota. So it's I guess
Yeah.
it's not natural for you to have some of the traditions.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Now, is there sort of like a traditional, well, is there like a traditional Christmas dinner that you guys do? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, mainly there are three different dishes that are served around Christmas. You have the Lutefisk that we've talked about,
of course.
and we have I need to do the translation here, so I don't pronounce or say it wrong, because if I say wrong, it would be it would be be strange.
Oh yeah.
Thin ribs. It's actually, I don't think it's.
Like short ribs, maybe.
I'll have to do some pork. Maybe it's more like pork belly. Yeah, it's more like pork belly. Yeah, but it's
Okay.
from the rib side. Yeah, it looks
Sure,
like
okay.
looks like the pork belly with a crispy crackling and all of that. A lot of fat, and you also have some meatballs and sausage going with this, sauerkraut, red cabbage, potatoes, carrots, and brown sauce. That's one
Ooh,
tradition.
I'm there for that.
Yeah, I wish someday, Tony, someday we're going
Yes.
to have some Norwegian Christmas dinner. I promise you
Yeah,
that.
baby.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a picture so you can drool about it. And then we have the pinnekjøtt. Directly translated, it's stick meat. I think I've shared lamb ribs. It's translated to. It's dried sometimes. Also it's smoked lamb, and you have to have it. It's very salty, so you have to water it out for often 24 hours, maybe longer, and changing the water
Okay.
a couple of times. And then it's not boiled. You have like you're putting sticks in the bottom of the pan, pot, and you fill the water up to cover the sticks, and then you have the meat on top of that. So it's steamed for many hours. So when you lift it up, the bones are you can just it just falls off the bone.
Huh.
Yeah, it's that's really delicious. Absolutely, I think so. And then you have the more untraditional ones. At least here is more on the northern part. So they have a big Christmas cod.
Christmas cod.
Yeah, I've never had that, but I know that it's a tradition further north in Norway with a cod on Christmas. I guess they do something about it. They do something with it, some spices or something like that. Yeah. What about you guys? What's the perfect traditional Christmas dinner in Minnesota? I mean, Texas, Minnesota, I guess there would be some difference.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I think there's maybe a little more similarity there than you might think. And now you'll have to take my my words with a grain of salt here, because there's what I believe the norm to be, and there's what we tend to do, which is very different.
I mean, you have a mix of Finnish and Swedish and American culture in your traditions, so it's natural. It's mixed somewhat.
Yeah, well, I think sort of like a glazed ham is maybe, or like a ham is sort of the standard. People do ham and
Well,
like
I forgot to say someone are also doing turkey on Christmas. But for us, it was especially earlier. It was the 25th. We had turkey at my grandparents' house. Yeah, your turn. Go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, no, turkey is also, I would say, not terribly uncommon. Growing up, though, what we've always done, as I may or may not have mentioned before, my younger sister is actually adopted from South Korea.
Yeah. Oh, they have delicious food. I envy you that.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. And so for a long time, what we've done as sort of our traditional Christmas dinner are these like meat and vegetable wontons. So we have kind of like a Korean traditional dinner in our house, with my parents' house, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's so.
I mean,
yeah, that's. I'm sure that's not what the average American is doing, but that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, you make your own traditions. I guess you use something from earlier, from what you've grown up with, and you make it your own. That's how family traditions are made, I guess.
Yeah.
And your kids will probably think about those moments when they grow up. I think of the Christmas I had when I grew up, and I want my kids to have the same feeling. But then again, I'm married, and we're making our own thing. I think that's. I don't care what you do. I don't care what I do. But as long as everyone are having a good time, I think that's what Christmas really is about now these days.
Yeah. It's just an opportunity to be together.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned that, because I mean it was sort of the same. It's the same for me. Like, I think back of how much I loved Christmas as a kid, and like, I just hope that my kids feel the same way about Christmas that I did when I was young.
Yeah, it's strange how you actually don't care that much about yourself anymore when you have kids. It's all about the kids. If I don't get enough sleep, I don't care as long as the kids sleep.
Yep.
It's yeah, you're changed.
Yeah, there's a reason that like when I cook for my family, I usually take like if there's like a chicken breast that's maybe a little burnt or something, I'll take the burnt one and give my family all the good ones, you know?
Yeah, of course. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Hey, I can take the undercooked potato. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We'll deal with it as long as everyone else is happy. That's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I want.
Exactly. That's spirit. But we jump about to the 1st of December. Do you guys like have the Christmas calendars and stuff, like the chocolate one, the gift ones? Is there any TV shows that do the Christmas calendar thing?
I don't know about TV shows. I don't watch much TV, so I can't say much about that. I don't remember there being anything like that. But yeah, no, we would call them advent calendars.
Yeah, so do we. So do we. Yeah, Advent. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, no, we do those. We don't actually have any this year for whatever reason, but we've done them in the past. There's the ones with the chocolate, of course.
Yeah, with the really bad chocolate.
Yeah. There were ones we had growing up which were you could reuse them every year, and it was like a wooden picture of a tree with all these nails, and you'd take out like a different little miniature ornament and hang it on a nail each day.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
And that was always cool.
Yeah, I remember we had
and
some
then,
kind of. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say just a couple of years ago, I think my mother-in-law bought a Lego advent calendar for my 7-year-old, and so there's a different little Lego set to do each day, which is fun.
Yeah, those are great. We have, of course, the Christmas calendar, advent calendars with chocolate. But they also had tradition in many families to have the gift, each day is a little gift. It can be some for the girls, hair bands or some crayons or something just like small ones, a keychain with a like a small puppy on it, whatever. And yeah, stuff like that. And it's also been kind of popular with a beer calendar, with a new beer for every day. We have this lottery calendar where you, like a scratching one, you can win up to 1 million, and you never win anything. Of course. And I have this licorice one. I love licorice. There's a new confect licorice every day. It's delicious.
That sounds fun. And it's like the kind of like black licorice, right?
Yeah, but it can be coated with it's coated with chocolate, and they have different flavors. Today was passion fruit. Here the other day it was creamy strawberries. It was salt and pepper, salt caramel, and stuff like that. It's delicious. Everyone is delicious.
Oh yeah. Do you do the salmiak at all? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
That's an interesting taste.
Yeah, it is, because when you salmiak, that's a strong cleaning.
It uses like ammonium salt. Yeah.
Yeah. But you said you didn't have that advent calendars on TV. Here there is like TV shows for the children with one episode each day, often surrounded by. We have, like, if you have multiple Santas, what would you call them? I don't know if you have those at all in your traditions, because we call Santa Claus for julenissen, Christmas Santa, but we also have the traditions of like a small Santas living, or nisser living around everywhere, kind of. So those calendars are often about the Santas or the Nisser living around on farms and stuff, and they can't be seen by humans and stuff like that. It's we're watching one now. It came out when I was a kid. It's nostalgic to watch, and it's quite fun. It's rather well made, actually. I would say.
Yeah, that does sound fun. I like the concept of the little Santas everywhere.
Yeah, like it's. I guess that's a Scandinavian thing, with I mean, we have the trolls and all fairies and all stuff that we have in our daily use. Or I almost but it's yeah, it's in our culture, I guess.
That's cool. That could be something we talk about sometime. I like any sort of traditional cryptozoology. That's fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that probably the closest we would have to the little Santas, of course, would be the elves.
Yeah, but these are not the elves.
Yeah, no, I understand. This is something different.
Kind of hard to explain because the Santa Claus is like the big old man with a beard, but these are like normal people just with long Christmas hats and almost looking like wearing like old traditional clothes and eating. Yeah, they're just strange people, kind of. It's a fun tradition, fun concept. It's Scandinavian, I guess.
Sure. And I'm assuming Christmas Santa brings gifts on Christmas.
Yeah, he does. He does. Absolutely. Do you have the tradition of one dressing up as Santa and coming on? No, I'm sorry, I forgot. You kind of have the celebration of or the tradition of opening the gifts on the 25th on the morning.
Yeah, I mean for the gifts, the tradition, of course, is usually you go to sleep on the evening of the 24th, and when you wake up, all the gifts are under the tree, and Santa has come in the night and come down the chimney, and
you can use that. You can use that thing because here he comes to us on the evening of 24th, and we open the gifts right away. Yeah. So 25th is more like a relaxing day. You watch some TV, play some games, opening more of your gifts or looking closer at them, and then you go for another dinner, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. It's strange how different it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny because some of the broad strokes are, of course, very similar, but yeah, there's little differences in just how the tradition has evolved in different areas.
Yeah, it really is interesting.
Sometimes I know people will do like we will sometimes do the family presents on the 24th. So like, the gifts that me and Natalie give to the kids and stuff like that. We'll do some of those sometimes on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
But then of course, yeah, the main event is the next morning.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for the youngest ones, there are always a lot of gifts because the grandparents and great grandparents are buying several gifts. I don't know why, but I guess there's fun to give away gifts.
Yeah.
So they're usually so exhausted they can't manage to open every gifts on the evening.
Yes, I definitely have experienced that. My mom fully admits that she buys too many gifts, but she loves giving gifts.
Yeah,
so,
I mean the joy of being a grandparent, I guess, is seeing the joy of in the eyes of the grandkids.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a fun time of year. I like the Christmas season, and it's such a shame that it's so early in the winter, and then we have to ride out the rest of the cold, gray months.
Yeah,
You know,
cold and gray months. It's yeah. I'm not a fan of Christmas like that. I don't. I loving the food and giving gifts and stuff. I don't care too much about that. It's fun and all. Of course, I like giving away things that people um,
Mhm.
that people are wishing for and seeing people happy. But for me, it's kind of stressful, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I can make Christmas not too stressful, because stressing too much makes it not so fun, not so cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're walking around with a 120 BPM, it's
Oh,
the
no,
the joy
I
the joyful time of year when you cannot breathe because your pulse is too high.
yeah, no, I get that, because I mean, to begin with, it always seems like whenever the extended family gets together, if the extended family gets together, then there's always some unpleasantness there that is maybe just below the surface.
Yeah,
Like,
that I am not.
everyone has that weird uncle, or
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm kind of lucky that way, because we're all friends in our family, and in the
Mhm.
closer family with my mom's sisters and my grandparents and so on. We're all friends. There's no bad blood between anyone. So
Sure, sure.
there's no argument or loud discussions around anything. It's just talk. And
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're good Scandinavian folk. There's never any arguments. But it's all below the surface, right?
yeah, the tension,
Yes.
the tension.
Well, and of course, it's also a different story when you get married. I know, for our first couple years of marriage, especially once we had our first kid, Christmas was always very stressful, figuring out, when are we going to my in-laws? When are we going to my parents? How are we
Yeah,
going to do this?
yeah,
And eventually we settled into a pattern where we just switch off, where, my parents get us for Christmas Eve one year and get us for Christmas Day the next, and vice versa.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've tried to do that one too, but my wife's parents are divorced, so we have like three
oh, no.
different one to go to, and when there probably is the one of her parents' time to have us on Christmas, they may be with his new family away somewhere else, and we have to either be home or do something with that, and the pattern is kind of ruined, so we just go year by year. We
Yeah.
figured out that would be best, and the first one to ask where we're going for Christmas are probably getting it. Although last year and
Yeah.
this year we're staying at home to doing our own thing. It's
Yeah. It is the time of COVID, and,
yeah, it
you know,
is, and now it's all the new strain walking around, and yeah, we're trying to make it as cozy as possible, make it ours.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I've never been one for like big family gatherings. I just, you know, I like to be with the parents and my kids, and, my sister and her daughter, and like that group of people. I don't need to bring aunts and uncles into it. I like aunts and uncles, of course, but, I like a nice small gathering where we can just chat quietly and,
yeah,
enjoy each other's company.
yeah. I feel you. I know. It's cozy. Cozy. We have a kind of an own word for that in Norway, but it's fun. It's pleasant to be with a extended family, as you call it. But
Mhm.
I also tend to enjoy more the smaller gatherings of people. being able to give everyone the attention and get the attention you need. Misunderstand me the right way. I'm not an attention seeker, but you get what I mean. Yeah.
I think it's pretty well established at this point that both you and I are quite introverted. So
yeah, I hope so. It's not that it's not that I don't like people. It's just like I'm more comfortable with less people around. It's not noisy with sound, but it's noisy in my head when it's a lot of people. Like I feel I have to give attention to everyone, or at least pay attention to everyone, and that's that can be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I
find myself at those sort of gatherings just every once in a while. I'll just kind of wander off and find a room with nobody in it and just sit there for a little bit.
Yeah, and try to organize the thoughts and now I put everything in the right shelf. Now I can go out again. Yeah. I feel you there. Yeah. So you are having the Christmas, all the gatherings and eating food, and what about the desserts?
The dessert.
Yeah, I mean the desserts are often traditional too. I mean, when it's a big dinner like a Christmas dinner, you often have desserts. At least here you do.
That's
cake or pudding or something. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's a traditional Christmas dessert. I don't know that I've had it, to be honest. It's a sort of fun intercultural aside. Japan is very wild for all things Western and especially American.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, they got the idea that every year Americans for Christmas eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and Christmas cake, which I forget exactly what Christmas cake is, but it's a specific sort of like white cake with, I don't know, some sort of berries maybe.
Kentucky Fried Chicken and Christmas, yeah, I've heard that one. It's it's fun.
No, it's a big thing there. Like it's the Christmas cake and the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, no, it's funny. And of course, if any Japanese person were to come to America and be like, "Oh, I can't wait to have Kentucky Fried Chicken with you guys on Christmas," we'd be like, "What? I don't do that. Christmas cake? What's that?"
It's the same. Someone actually have the tradition here of eating frozen pizza on Christmas. It's excuse me, what? Yeah.
Oh, actually, so now that I was talking, something did come to mind. I think the closest thing we have probably to a traditional dessert, a lot of people will do like Christmas cookies.
We have like 7 different or probably like 20 different ones you can make. What are they called in US? Christmas cookies?
Yeah, I mean, I think sort of if you think of a Christmas cookie, what most people probably would picture is just like a simple sugar cookie that has been.
Yeah. We call those directly translated to Cookie Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so and we'll have
gingerbread.
Usually, not necessarily gingerbread. I mean that is a thing that I think people would do on Christmas, but I always think of just there's the regular sugar cookies with different colored frostings and sprinkles, and it's sort of at least in sort of my family, it's been a tradition to do that with the kids, and the kids help decorate all the cookies.
Yeah, that's the same here. My daughter did that with my mother here the other last week, or was it this week? Last week, I guess. It's fun for the kids, as we say.
Oh yeah. I always loved it growing up, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, we as I said, we have 7 different sorts of Christmas cookies or some small cakes, mouthfuls cakes. Yeah,
Yeah, what
it's
are the other ones like?
oh my God, there's so many different one. You
Which is
have
the best one in your opinion?
I don't know if that's really a traditional one or if it's even a Norwegian one, but it's called Sarabenar, and it's some cream filled chocolate nutty thing. Yeah, I'm definitely not a good baker. I'm more of a dinner guy.
Yep, yep.
Um,
I'm with you there.
yeah, I could give you a picture of some of the sorts. It's yeah, we have seven different ones. It has so strange names. We have the crumb cake, krumkake with I don't know what it's made of. It's where you have a stick, you roll it on, and you get a cone, and you fill it with whipped cream and jam. And you have the gingerbread, of course, and you have the cookie man, as I told you, and there are some kind of donuts, not the donuts you're familiar with, but and then we have it's called oats, not flakes, but it's made of oats with sugar and something, you roast it and it gets flat and rather hard. It's sweet. Yeah, they're directly translate to oatmeal. It's not. That's not correct. That's not correct at all. Yeah,
Yeah,
I sent you the picture, and those are in the middle on the left there. I guess those are flat
sure.
brownie-ish, and you have the donuts in the middle. I'll put the picture
Yep.
on our YouTube video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very that to me looks like a very Scandinavian plate right there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess those comes from being so many farms around and everyone having their own recipe for making. Yeah, so it just evolves over time, I think, and
Yeah,
brought
no,
something from Denmark, something from Sweden, and then it just mashed up and become something.
yeah, no, these look good. We, you know, both on me and my wife's side, you know, we've got a lot of both Finnish and Swedish, so the big Christmas Eve gathering with all of my wife's extended family, you know, we'll have plates that look not entirely dissimilar to that one.
Yeah, I mean, guessing the Finnish one have a different tradition than we do, of course. I mean, the Danish and Swedish have their variation of it, but I guess the base is the same. The foundation of the traditions are kind of the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know,
So
lots of little nibbling things.
yeah, so we've had the dinner, we've had the desserts, and it's if you're going for the Christmas Day dinner or something, is there something else, or just is there any traditions around that? Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
food
I think
or the anything.
yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for the most part, I think it's more common for people to have the sort of traditional Christmas meal on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve is a little more up in the air, in terms of how that's done. So, yeah, we don't. At this point, at least, you know, for my family, I don't know that we have an established Christmas Eve sort of dinner. It's just the wontons on Christmas Day.
Yeah, sure.
So what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on who you visit, but I mean, when we were all my mother's extended family, on that side, we were almost 20 people. So making dinner for everyone would be a magnificent job. So We usually they just had a bunch of different stuff, and made a cold buffet. Yeah, cold buffet with chicken and some Christmas leftovers and bread, and yeah, something like that. Easy and it tasteful, and yeah, I guess that's. I don't think we have a real tradition on what's eaten on those days. I mean, every family has their own thing, I guess, and someone having that on the first day we go there, and the second day we go there, and the third day we do this, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I think it's more family to family. That thing.
Sure.
It's also quite common here to go to the church on Christmas on the 24th.
Oh yes, yes.
We do not have that tradition. We're not religious at all, but I know people do that, but only on Christmas because it's something they did when they were children, and yeah, I don't care what the others do. They may have their traditions, and basically Christmas is about is a Christian tradition. So yeah.
Yeah, although it's also sort of like, I mean, if you really get into the history of it, I think it's like a sort of a
Pagan.
piggyback. Yeah, it's piggybacking off a pagan,
Yeah.
celebration of the winter solstice.
Yeah, and do you know what they called that celebration?
Oh, Yule? Is that?
Yeah.
Is that it?
And what do you
Yeah.
think we call Christmas here?
Yule.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're holding on to our pagan traditions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of fun actually. It has become more and more known the later years. I think about the pagan traditions. Let's jump over to the New Year's. I mean, between Christmas and New Year's, it's just a blur of new toys and new gifts and dinners and relaxing, having great time. What's happening on New Year's?
I mean, there's an answer to this question before I had kids, and an answer to this question after I had kids.
Of course there is.
Of course, we used to do a big, my wife and I would host a New Year's party for several years for our friend group, and we'd all come over and drink and play games and ring in the new year that way.
Yeah.
And now we're just glad that on YouTube you can find footage of the ball dropping at any time, so midnight can be whenever you want it to be.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Do people make a big deal of New Year there?
Yeah, some do. Their party from like 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock the next morning, and there is fireworks and stuff like that. Having a nice dinner with extended family or alone. Or yeah, of course there is traditions around the New Year's here too. I can't really say we had any traditions, especially around that. We had a nice dinner. It could be anything. A little more fancy than just spaghetti, of course. But then it would be just staying up late, watching some movies, and then going out. There was a parade where I lived before in the neighborhood there. A parade where over 100 people with torches walking around the community. And then it was some soup and warm chocolate and stuff for the kids, and then everyone went home and came out again to closer to 12 and shooting fireworks and stuff like that.
That's fun.
That was kind of fun. I don't know if they do that anymore. Maybe they do. It's been like 10 years since I lived at home with my parents, so I don't know if they do that up there anymore. But I guess they
Sure,
do.
sure.
I mean, the later years has been a growth in families with children there. So I guess the traditions are blooming again.
Well, that's fun. I mean, that sounds like fun to do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
way
I
more
mean,
than-
you went out and everyone you knew from around there that you probably didn't see other than in school and stuff. They just showed up and you walked around and was playing around and you had torches and yeah, it was several hundred people walking around there. It was a sight.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, sure. Is there any restrictions about lighting fireworks around there, or can you just blow it up from your own porch?
Well, so I'm not. I'm a little shaky on the exact rules because they're also
sure.
different per state. Minnesota has we have legalized fireworks that basically you can do things that don't shoot in the air for the most part.
Okay.
Although we live just like 30 minutes away from from Wisconsin, where all fireworks are legal pretty much. So
that's so strange.
so people will make the drive and buy the illegal fireworks and then come back and launch them off, you know.
Oh yeah.
Not as much on New Year's. You'll hear some on New Year's, I think, but of course, you know, the 4th of July is the big fireworks out here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the rules here either, but you have to be on a set place to light fireworks because there have been a lot of fires and injuries about fireworks here. I know.
Sure.
The brother of my friend, he managed to light a firework in his own face and was severely burnt. And people have lost fingers playing with fireworks, and there have been fires, houses, and trees burning. So they're trying to have restrictions around where and what kinds you're allowed to use. Also, there's a time limit. You can't blow up fireworks at 8 in the morning. You have to wait until X o'clock to start firing them up.
Yeah.
I also guess that the reason they don't want it to be everywhere is like because of all the rubbish laying around after, because no one is taking the leftovers home and putting in the trash can.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's like sticks and all the big battery things laying around. It's a mess.
Yeah, I think like the main thing that we would have to worry about here would be the noise, because past a certain time, I think it's like 9 or 10, you know, you can you know, there's an expectation that, you know, you're not being super loud and doing things like having, you know, parties that keep the neighbors awake or launching fireworks and stuff like that.
I guess New Year's Eve is kind of out of that law, because normally there you have to be quiet and do not disturb the neighbors by 11 o'clock in the night, and you can actually get probably not arrested, but if the neighbors here held a party and was making a lot of noise until 12, 1 o'clock and so on, and I contacted the police, they would show up and stuff like that. It's it's all about having the night being holy for everyone, kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, especially now that I have kids, I appreciate that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because yeah, anything that makes it harder to put them to bed or wakes them up once we've finally gotten them asleep is not going to be something I'm a fan of.
Yeah, you find the wrath. We've now talked about everything from the firth of this firth. Is that the number? I don't think so. the 1st of December until the New Year's Eve. And I had one more question. I see we've been talking for about an hour now. I have one more question. Like, is there a tradition of walking around the tree and singing silly songs? Not silly songs, but Christmas songs.
Walking around the tree and doing it?
Yeah, like holding hands and walking around the tree and singing Christmas songs. Is that a tradition in that you know of?
Not the walking around part. I mean, people of course do sing like Christmas carols and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the caroling where people might go house to house.
Yeah, we have that one too. It's like the Scandinavian way of Halloween, I guess. Walking up to a house, singing some songs, dressed up as small Santas and stuff like that, and receiving some candy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think there's any expectation that the carolers will receive candy here. It's just for fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So you don't have that walking around the tree thing?
No, not so much.
No, that's a thing here. I always found that silly, walking around the tree and singing songs no one actually can anymore. It's I've never liked that public humiliation. I found it. but I guess they do that in larger gatherings, like in schools, and at least they did. Yeah, that's I thought that was an American thing too. Walking around the tree and singing. Yeah, I thought it was, but I'm not American, so how could I know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. 1 hour about that. We're rounding it up now, I guess. It's
yeah.
We actually managed to talk about roughly everything. I guess we could do some deep dive into some parts, but we've covered most of the things, I guess.
Yeah. And we mostly stayed on topic even.
Yeah, it's a first for everything.
Yeah.
So I would just remind people to jump into Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Stretcher, and
Anchor. Maybe what you thinking of?
Anchor. Yeah. We're on there, and we're on YouTube, of course. We also have our own subreddit. Let's talk about that, and an email. Everything is listed in the descriptions and so forth.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think that of course we've gotten some suggestions on YouTube in the comments, where we would absolutely like more suggestions on topics and themes, and maybe if you have some questions to both of us or one of us, we will answer as how would you say it, as good as possible. Is that the right?
As well as we can, yeah.
Is that the right choice of words?
Yeah, to the best of our ability. I don't know, to the best of our knowledge.
As good as possible. At least, I mean, Google Translate isn't developed yet. It's still in the baby phases of development. There's a flaw in translating languages online yet.
Yeah, no, it's fun. If you ever want a treat, you check out Google Translate Sings on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's very, very good stuff.
Yeah, I know the one podcast I listen to, they often read up something that the listeners have sent in, and it's something that has either it's some commercial or some ads the sender have gotten in their email or whatever, but it's translated clearly via Google Translate, and it's so ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's
I love it.
it's so funny. It wouldn't be funny in English because it's translated into Norwegian, but I guess everyone have seen seen something like that.
That sounds fun though. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's you should learn Norwegian, and I could read it to you. Maybe that should be something we do regularly, trying to teach Tony Norwegian.
Hey, I'm all for it. I love learning languages.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter have a school book for the first grade. We could have you reading out that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, maybe we should do that as a steady thing. Every time we have a new word for Tony to guess, we could do that.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, lovely. I'll see what I can what I can make. I'm looking forward to that. By the end of this, you'll talk fluently Norwegian.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I'm for it.
Yeah. So you're going to have a concert later?
I am.
Yeah, that's cool.
A Christmas concert for my barbershop chorus. You know, because I'm pretty cool like that.
Yeah, yeah, you are absolutely. You're a famous podcaster and singer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people say I'm the next Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you are.
You remember when I said that we managed to go through this episode without getting off topic?
Shh. You should don't mention it. If you mention it, they might remember.
Oh shoot! Sorry. We can always edit that up.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what our recording schedule is like over the next couple of weeks here with the holidays, because we have Christmas and New Year's. But
yeah,
I'm sure
we'll try to find one and publish it. I'm having a couple of almost one and a half week off, but
nice.
Yeah, from the 22nd and all the way to the New Year. So I'm having my days off from work.
Lovely.
To maybe be able to relax some. So we might find a time to be able to record one episode.
Yeah, it's a promise. At least one more episode in 2021, right?
Yeah, we need to make that. Maybe we make a small one, just wishing everyone a happy new year or something. We could do that. Make just a small, like a 15-minute one, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure we could figure something out.
Yes. Well, anyways, as normal, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening.
As Martin said, check us out on all the different internet places and leave comments and stuff like that, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we sure will. Sure will.
All right. Have a happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.